absolutely horrifying loss if you're Baltimore. Tim Hasselbeck is alongside. We're preparing to talk about Henry. We're preparing to talk about Jackson. And that is not what we're going to talk about. How does Buffalo manage to win this football game beyond what we just saw? How do you explain it?
They stay in the fight because they believe in their quarterback.
That's
think about it, the entire time, the whole game. It just felt like they really were kind of lagging behind, right? They didn't really have an answer defensively. And then it was like, but they were still in it. You looked at it, it was like it was 14. Sometimes it was 16 points. But for whatever reason, Scott, with Josh Allen as your quarterback, you don't feel like you're completely out of it. And then just one turnover and the quick scores that can come from that, like you feel like you have a chance. I think you even feel like you have to feel it in that locker room on that sideline, because I think you even feel it when we're watching it, that, hey, this game's not out of reach with him and what he's able to do.
Keon Coleman is going to join us here in a few moments. He had 8 catches, 112 yards, the touchdown there on the fourth down, then that gigantic conversion there that got them close enough for Knees, and then Prater. Again, he's only up because Bass couldn't kick this weekend, and Prater's been an excellent kicker everywhere he's been. Only missed 1 game-winning attempt in his career. And there's 2 sides to this story. And the Baltimore piece, I'll save that until after we visited with our guest here in a moment. But from the Buffalo perspective, there's only the one hurdle left, right? You just get to the Super Bowl, and that can't happen until January/February. But to win a game like this that appeared largely beyond your grasp, the way they did, what kind of a launch point is that for a season?
Listen, it obviously instills a massive amount of confidence, no matter how much adversity you face in any game throughout the season. The other thing is this, and we talked about it watching the games, is sometimes, you get into November and December and you start talking about home field advantage and you start talking about all the things that matter.
It's amazing.
You go back to the week 1 when you look and you think, wait a second, that game's going to matter this much? It very well may, and I think that there's hope in that as well.
The first time, I believe, it's Keon Coleman. Hey, Keon, it's Scott Van Pelt here on SportsCenter. Thanks for taking a second to throw in a headset. I'm just talking to Tim Hasselbeck. We're trying to figure out how the hell y'all won this football game. You just walked off the field in Buffalo. How do you describe that wild sequence there in the end?
That's just the identity of our team, man. If it's time on the clock, it's time for us to make a play. So we don't count us out ever.
No, and we don't. And how much of that belief, Keon, comes from the fact that the quarterback that you have is Josh Allen and the talent that guy is working with at the moment?
A lot of it comes from him, man, because with him, no play is dead. So you always have a chance to make the play. So he's going to extend and give everybody a chance, and you just got to go up there and make it. And then on the flip side, we do have a great defense that made some great stops for us. So was able to, relay and rally off of what they did and then put our kicker in great position and knock it in.
What's it like, Keon, when you're watching, and your defense, I said it during the highlight, you guys made some plays, but my gosh, the way Lamar and King Henry are able to make plays as well, it must be like, I don't know. There's nothing anyone can really do. What is it feeling like when you're watching an offense like Baltimore when they're going on the kind of run that they were going on before you all came back?
It's Lamar and Derrick Henry, man. They're going to do what they do best, and that's make plays and try to make your defense wrong. But our defense ended up being more disciplined, got the ball out, and made some plays.
I was trying to figure out, Keon, in real time, the 4th down throw. I couldn't tell if it was to Shakir and it got tipped by Kincaid, or, you made the play on it. I don't know if that was just a 4th down and 2 and Josh has got to throw the ball up. What was supposed to happen on the play where you were able to grab it for the touchdown?
It was a simple mesh concept, trying to get somebody open out the backfield, and then from there get the tight end open. And, like I said, we have Josh Allen at quarterback. He extended the play, and he gave us a chance through it. And, I just happened to be in the right place and make the play.
Keon, it's only week 1, and you're a team that has its eyes on something way down the road in February. But how significant a win is this, even in September, even in week 1, to beat a team like that the way you all did? How big is that in the room?
I mean, it's a big win. You know, that's a team that eventually, you know, they end up in the playoffs from a year-to-year basis, and we're going to eventually probably have to see if we continue to win. But on a week-to-week basis, every win is a big win in the NFL because, you know, they all come down to a one-score game. So we was able to come out here and put on a performance against a great defense like that, and they also have a great offense on the flip side of that. And, you know, we were able to never give up and will our way back to the win. So that's great.
I mean, you know, a lot of things go on in the game, and it was 4 minutes left. You know, our guys were trying to hold on to the ball and trying to, you know, milk the clock as much as we could, you know, because that's a great offense over there as well. And things just happened, you know. It's not like any one of the guys tried to. You know, they were trying to hold on to the ball as much as they could, but it's just written in the Bills' favor.
How do you know, because this is an emotional loss, having it lose like that.
Yeah.
How do you keep it from, having it end here and not letting it spill over into the next game?
Probably let it linger for the night, you know, because we all hate losing on our team, you know. I feel like anybody who playing a competitive sport gonna hate losing, you know, but probably let it linger tonight and then forget about it because we're gonna have to get prepared for the Browns, a divisional, rival.
Two more for Lamar. What do you have to say to Derek after the night that he had, and also that crucial fumble late?
I told him, like, let that go, you know, man. Like, he done did enough for us. You know, he scored, like, 80 yards, 50 yards one time, popped another one. Like, he was just going off, you know, but things happen. Unfortunately, it just happened at the wrong time, but I'm not going to knock him for that. Like, shit, I fumbled in the playoffs. Like, so it is what it is, man.
Good news for Baltimore is they're really good. The bad news is this loss leaves a permanent mark that they will have to deal with for the remainder of this season. Since 2000, here's some context. Teams are 3 in 2,312 when they trail by 15 or more in the final 4 minutes of the fourth quarter. The last win qualify would be the Saints in 2017. It was against Washington in Week 11.
I mean, it took everybody there. Just proud of our team for staying in it. No one on the sideline blinked. Down 15 points, whatever we were, with 5-6 minutes left. Staying with it. Fans leaving, the stadium. You got to play this game for 60 minutes, and that's a really good outfit that we just played. And God willing, we take care of business how we're supposed to, and how we think we will. It's probably a team we'll see again. So. They're a greatly coached team. Hats off to them for having a really good game plan. But we stuck in there, and I'm just proud of our guys.
What happened in the first half? You guys in the back-to-back 3 halves, we were able to obviously rebound from that. Just what were you saying to guys on the sidelines to kind of get back in the flow?
Just stay with it. Trust what Joe's calling. That's all we did. Just try to take it one game at a time. No matter how far down we are, we don't look at the scoreboard. We just try to go out there and execute our play.
You said how guys didn't blink on the sideline. What was that like keeping everyone in the game despite, being down when you were so late? Like, what were the conversations like? What was it like on the sideline?
Yeah, basically saying, we're still in this. It's a 2-score game. We score, defense get a stop. We get to go out there again. And, hats off to our defense in that, the last 3 or 4 drives, playing some big boy football. That's a really, really good offense. It's a really good team. Yeah.
For them to get the take.
You have a touchscreen. I don't know if we have time. I'm trying to communicate with my producer here. We have time for this?
Hey, Josh Allen had 46 seconds. I don't know how much time we can do it in.
If he can do that in 46, you could do something with this.
On the touchscreen. Listen, they called good plays on that last 2-minute drive. Really what they decided to do, they end up hitting a slant because they're getting all-out pressure, and that's all we have up here, which is why we're going to squeeze it in 46 seconds. Because they come after him, they're able to do that. And in the play before that, they end up hitting them on the out where they hit Palmer, as you pointed out in the highlight. The reality is you call good plays, but you have a quarterback that in the heat of the moment can still play slow on top of it.
Okay, so the Palmer hit here looked like a slight little, I don't know if he gave it a little, not a double move.
They have an outbreak. Really was a nice call because they have an in-breaking routes in case Baltimore's defending the sideline. And then they have out-breaking routes in case they're not. Well, they weren't defending the sideline, which allowed them to hit Josh Palmer on the corner route.
So, look, this is a happy night for Buffalo, and good for them. But this, if you're Baltimore, I don't know how to reconcile a team that I would consider one of the very best in the NFL, period. They keep losing football games like this year after year where it's just like, how did that happen? And I get it. Henry was incredible. The ball gets knocked out. Credit to Oliver for making a play. And you're up against Josh Allen, and that guy's the MVP of the league. But there's no way Baltimore's supposed to lose this football game.
Correct. And we had that same conversation a year ago about how is this team that's good on defense, good on special teams, they can run the football. Those are all the marks of teams that close things out. Why does this team have a hard time doing it? Well, I would say this. You think about what happened tonight. Yes, the fumble. But then they had another opportunity, Scott.
Get a first down.
Yes. So I think we'll all look back at the turnover because that led to the quick scores, which obviously changed the game. By itself. But then you get the ball back. You have a chance at that point to get the first down to end it. You don't do that. So there are phases of the game that you can point to other than the turnover that are a factor.
And again, it's like we talk about the end of the year. Do you forget week one? I mean, the third down throw, sure, but you had 2 downs prior to that to try to get something else. They ran the one sort of sweep motion to Zay, and
yeah, you could tell they maybe weren't ready to throw they didn't want to be throwing the football, and so they were trying other ways to get the first down. And look, the conversation was had too. Do you go for it? Like, do you give, Chris Collinsworth was asking during the game, do you go for it? I just don't think, you can't give the ball back to Josh Allen.
You can't,
but that's what you're learning.
Of course you can't. But you also know if you know that the odds are once you give him the football back, they're going to have a kick to win this game.
Yep.
And then it turned out to be after they took knees, and it's basically an extra point.